What's going on, my friends? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very good start of the week. Today we're gonna work in this little cedar, Himalayan cedar, Cedrus Deodara, that we've seen in previous videos. You can see that it's really grown in nicely. We can see that all of the foliage has matured. It's actually a moment I've been waiting for, because if you've seen my previous videos when we prune pines and when we work on them, you have to give them a chance to really grow and grow so the new foliage can vigorize the tree. Yeah, you have to let the new growth mature, so they can collect that strength that the foliage gives the plant, right? So yeah, of course there are some exceptions to that rule. For example, the Japanese black pine, but the candling and all of those other topics, well, when we make use of them, we will cover them. Yeah. So this little guy, you can see my hand. This will be like a show hand size tree. It's about, I don't know, like 30 centimeters tall, maybe a bit more. And we can see that we got some branches and some little tufts of foliage where we don't want them. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do some pruning. Hopefully I will take some cuttings and depending on what I see, I think I'm going to do a little bit of wiring as well. So I'm going to place the camera down. I don't have a good quality tripod, so I'm going to set it completely. And I mean completely because it's wobbly, the little thing that I'm going to use. And I'm going to set it down, and I'll start pruning. Yeah, so I'll stop the camera, stop the recording, and then we can continue. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I can see that there are some branches that I'm definitely going to need to cut. So I'm going to come in. I'm using, school scissors, just because my pruners are completely rusted. I can't use them. So I'm just going to take out those branches that I'm not going to be able to use, and I'm just going to prune back heavily on some branches that so for example, here we can see this branch over here is growing from another completely different section of the tree, but it's going downwards like this, and it's inside of a curve. So I think I'm going to remove that completely. Yeah, so I'm going to come in, and I don't know if I should remove it completely, but I'm definitely going to at least, not sure, maybe I should just cut the section that is not going to be used. I'm 100% sure that I'm not going to use this section, so I'm going to cut this. Over here, we got the main branch. Yeah, this is the main branch, and I'm going to lift the camera so you can see what I intend to do. Yeah, so here I go. So let's see, there's this branch covering here, but we can see that the origin place of this branch is here. It's actually one of the first branches that emerges from the little trunk, and we can see that it divides into 1, 2 little branches, and then over here we got another division, 1, 2, and then it can continue to grow to the side. It continues to grow to the side like this. So we got a bunch of little buds that we can use to further ramify this and to create a nice little pad. The only thing that I'm going to do with this is cut back so we get ramification, and then I think I'm also going to wire this into position. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so I'm going to place the camera down again and we can continue. Okay, so here I go. So the main branch is here. There's a little shoot here that is nice and young and vigorous, but I don't really need it because this is so well ramified. So I think I'm gonna cut here, this section over here. So let's see. If I move this a little bit further back, you can see better. But you can see that this branch has got two buds here. So yeah, I think I'm gonna cut that. There. Okay. And this one, I'm also gonna cut back. Yeah, I got several buds there that we can use. So I'm gonna clip it here as well. So look at this. A lot of foliage that I clip. Okay, so we continue. Let's see. There's a branch over here. I think it's very peculiar, you know. This one right here. I have absolutely no idea what to do with it, because you can see that this is a literal L, you know, 90-degree angles, and then it grows sideways like this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that one, you know. But I think I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna remove the whole thing. Let's see. I think I'm gonna keep at least one little shoot. So if I need to cover the back side, I can just fall back on that little bud. Yeah. So look at this. This is what I meant. Look at this 90-degree angle that I have here. So it's pretty much useless in the design. This one over here, you know, the negative thing, the con about this branch is that it has a lot of buds, but they're only growing, for some reason they're only growing on one side of the branch until this bud right here, which grows on the opposite side. So let's see what happens. Yeah. So we continue, yeah. I'm going to continue doing this, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I finish, so this video doesn't continue for too long, yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we are. I think this is as far as I want to go with pruning, except for this section over here. So I want to continue to vigorize this sacrifice branch, this sacrifice apex, but the main foliage is right here, yeah. The main branches that I'm going to use in the design are right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these little buds that I have here, you know, halfway up to the apex, so that it can continue to elongate, you know, and elongate. I'm going to remove some of the needles, yeah, and you know, there's another one here I'm also going to remove. And yeah, this one too. Oh, little gecko inside the house. There. Yeah, so now this can continue to grow upwards, and it can continue to thicken the little trunk base, yeah? So next step is wire. I'm going to do that off camera just because it's such a tiny tree and I don't want to, you know, record and do the wiring at the same time. And plus I'm not that experienced with it, so I'm going to do that. I'll show you what it looks like when I place the wire in position, and you know, but I put it in place, and then we're going to do some bending. Yeah, we're going to take a look at what it looks like when I do that. Let's go ahead and do that. So there the wire is. Now it's only a matter of, you know, for example, this, which is the main branch. Anyway, this is going to be a very choppy video, but I was saying that, yeah, It's just a matter of placing the branches where we want them, giving them a little bit of movement, you know, and just being careful with it, you know, because there we got the main branch, this little back branch that we have here, it was moving downwards. Now we can see that we can direct it a little bit so that it can cover that back plane. And this, you know, we're going to move it upwards like this, and we can see that structurally this is looking better. You know, we can see that all of this is a sacrifice branch. We can see that it's going to continue to grow upwards, and yeah, maybe we will have a very good bonsai in the future. Yeah, so the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to plant these. You know, I'm just going to place them in a tray with turfis, gonna dip them in rooting hormone, and we'll call it a day. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I got the turfis here, and I prepare the little cuttings. I just remove the bottom needles, so we have a clean surface that we can dip in the rooting hormones. Yeah, so we dip them, shake them off the excess, and make a little hole, and in they go. Yeah, so let's continue doing that just because it's fun. And you know, I was actually surprised when I first heard that you can do that with this species, the Cedrus Deodar or Deodara, but it was actually someone from Germany who in an Instagram post showed his little box full of cuttings that had already rooted. And so, as usual with cuttings, the best time to do this is spring, mid-spring, or early autumn, when the temperatures are just right. Just keep them in a bright spot, away from direct sunlight, and it should be no problem, you know. So that's it. Another little note about this: you should not, you know, stick them in the ground like forcing them in. You should make a little hole, put them in, and then cover with the substrate. Yeah. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to show you one that has rooted before from last season and what it looks like today. Yeah, so let's take a look. Wet finger. Can't pause the camera. Growing in a very similar substrate. We can see that it was this long when it first rooted, but this year's growth is nice and healthy. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you're very well. If you have any comments, doubts, anything, drop them down below. Please subscribe to my other channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.